Hey guys, welcome back to another dev stream. So last stream में what we were doing is कि म्यूजिक साउंड डालना था which I have added with grass का sound. This sound is not. Mud का sound, grass. और ये इसका sound. So all the sounds are added and उसके साथ मैंने zombie का भी sound डाल दिया. Frame drops दिख रहा है ना? We have visible frame drops here. So there we are right now. Maybe your terrain tool selected था इसलिए. Okay, so what the hell? Don't save. I'll probably make the sound a bit better in the future, but अभी के लिए it's good enough. Now आज का गोल ये है कि अकल्जन कलिंग डालना है गेम में. So अकल्जन कलिंग बेसिकली होता ये है कि जितना आपका कैमरा व्यू में है वो चीज़ रेंडर होंगी और बाकी सब चीज़ें रेंडर नहीं होंगी. I did it back in Helmwater. It's been okay. What? Jack gets another husband love story. What the hell is this? ओके सो इनका ट्यूटोरियल देखते हैं हम लोग फ्रीडम कोडिंग का क्या सिखाया था हमको.
Occlusion culling is a rendering technique that disables the objects player can't see at the moment, which will help you to increase performance. In my project, I have just this simple city that you can also download in the description. Right now, as the player is looking in this way, we are actually not just loading all of these objects, but we have also all of the objects that are behind the player, which we don't actually need. So let's use occlusion culling for that. We'll go to Window, Rendering, and open the occlusion culling window. And later, we'll be able to easily bake the occlusion. But before we do that, we need to mark some of the objects as occluders and others as occludees. Occluder is an object that can block other objects. So when the player is looking, let's say, at a wall, we can mark it as a occluder, which means that all of the objects that will be behind it will be occluded, so we won't be able to see them. And so that we don't see the objects behind the wall, we need to mark them as occludees, which means that we can't see them if there is an occluder in front of them. I will select my city parent, go to the inspector, and the first way to mark all of the objects as occluders and occludees, in my case it will be just the city, you can just set it to static and that's all. So in order to use occlusion culling, those objects have to be static, so it means that you can't move with them, but there are also some exceptions where we will be able to make static occludees. Now we can just click this drop down next to the static, and we can select if we want them to be either just occludees or just occluders. But in this case, I will leave them all as occluders and occludees at the same time. Then
Hold up, let me see. Windows, rendering, occlusion culling. ये मेरा एनवायरनमेंट है। एनवायरनमेंट में क्या क्या है? वॉल्स, टावर्स, बैरल्स, फर्नीचर। व्हाट द जग, जग सोना सोना लाए। Houses, well, food. Uh, I'm kind of, you know what? I'm gonna delete food for now because I'm thinking कि मैं उसे फ्यूचर में जाके थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा फीचर्स ऐड करूँ। ठीक है। Everything in this environment is static. Batch static, occludal static, occludey static. Okay.
Then we'll go to the occlusion panel, go to the bake panel, and we'll just hit bake. Now you also want to select your camera, and in the camera component, you want to make sure that occlusion culling is enabled.
Okay. So we're here. Occlusion culling, bake, bake. What the hell? Main camera, rendering, occlusion culling on है। Okay, player new. Okay. Right.
Now as we play the game, you may not be able to notice any differences, but if we go to Scene, select the camera, open the occlusion window, down here we can also select the occlusion culling modes to visualize, and now we can see only the objects that the player can actually see right now, which are these houses, some of these trees, but you can see that the floor disappeared and all of these other houses disappeared.
Right. क्या बोला था? विजुअलाइज, एडिट, विजुअलाइज में
If we go to Scene, select the camera, open the occlusion window, down here we can also
wait, I have to select camera first. वो टैब में ही दिख रहा है ना, बाकी मैं ऐसे थोड़ी दिख, ऐसे तो वो हो ही नहीं रहा कुछ भी।
select the occlusion culling modes to visualize, and now we can see only the objects that the player can actually see right now, which are these houses, some of these trees, but you can see that the floor disappeared and all of these other houses disappeared. And as I'm rotating the player, you can see that other objects are appearing and disappearing based on the direction where we are looking. So this on its own should help you to improve performance. You can see that it is really simple. So what if we have some dynamic objects that are moving and we want them to use occlusion culling? Because as I said, occlusion culling can be only used with static objects, or can it? You can make a dynamic object occludey, but not an occluder. So when the camera is not looking at it, it will not be seen, but it can't block other objects. So to do that, just select the object, and in the mesh renderer, tick dynamic occlusion, which is already ticked by default. But what if we have some dynamic object that is moving like a door, but we also want it to be occluder at the same time? We can just use the occluder portal component, where you can specify the size, let's say, of the door, and then when the door is open, you can just hit open, and all of the objects that are behind the portal will be rendered, and if you set it to closed, it will be blocking objects, even though it is not marked as static. And when we are baking the occlusion, in the occlusion tab, we also have some additional settings. For example, the smallest occluder, which is just the size of the smallest occluder, so if you want even some tiny pebbles to be blocking other objects, you can set this to some low number. And smallest hole, so if you have some trees or leaves, and you also want these small holes to be registered as holes, you can just decrease the smallest hole value. And the backface threshold is just deciding when you should be able to see the backface, which is like when you are inside an object. Usually you want to keep this at 100 or some higher number, because as you lower it, some weird artifacts may appear. And one more useful component is the occlusion area, which just allows you to put many objects just into one occlusion area, so if the player is looking at any of these objects in the area, it will automatically set all of the objects in the area to active. And that's it for the occlusion culling. You can see that it is really simple to set up. And if you are asking me about occlusion culling for dots, I wouldn't recommend it to you, because as I was trying to get it working, my Unity crashed like 5 times, so it is kind of unstable, at least on my machine. I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, drop them down to the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in next.
So that was easy. Is my thing done? मैंने bake तो कर दिया ये. All right. Let's fix the sound effects then. Mm, no, I want to really try to do that actually. मल्टीप्लेयर भी मुझे चेक करके देखना है. Zombies. Any override on this? Nothing over nothing. Alright, delete it. So what I'm gonna do is spawn player कहाँ है? Ah, okay. Windows build 11 में जाने दो. I think there is an issue with friendly fire in this game. Right. Loading scene. What the hell? Medieval. Okay, quick game. What the? अरे ये तो दिक्कत वाली बात हो गई फिर। मेरे को वो सेलेक्ट करके क्विक गेम करना पड़ेगा। What the fuck? स्पॉन सही से हुए नहीं ये लोग। That can be fixed. Hey, what the what? What? That's an issue. I think उसके रेंज के बाहर जा रहा है इसलिए ट्रैक करना बंद हो जा रहा है उसका। Hmm. Okay. If I shoot this guy. God damn it! Fuck off, Lee. Player new. Capsule collider. Okay, I understand that. Huh. तो इसमें भी कोलाइडर ऑन नहीं है। बुलेट प्रोजेक्टाइल प्लेयर हिट Take damage. यहाँ पर कुछ इशू आ रहा है क्या? आई गेस. So what I can do is loading scene. I cannot do friendly fire. What the hell? Set destination cannot be called. क्या हवे में स्पॉन हो गए? तो हवे से नीचे नहीं आ सकते? वेट अ सेकंड. ना मैच बेक नहीं है क्या इसमें? बेक्ड ही नहीं है. Maybe I should not bake it for now. क्योंकि टेस्टिंग चल रही है. Friendly fire was working fine earlier, but I don't know why it's not working right now. खा लूंगा. Hmm. Why are you not detecting the thing that I want you to detect? Player. क्या हो रहा है बुलेट प्रोजेक्टाइल में? जैसे फ्रेंडली फायर साउंड, this should work. What if I call sound manager? Sound manager. Okay. Resources, player, player new. This is my dummy player. So dummy player का मैं player controller बंद कर देता हूँ. बट अगर मैं प्लेयर कंट्रोलर बंद कर दूंगा तो साउंड कैसे प्ले होगा? That is an issue. Oh, what's gonna happen?
Hello,
Something happened.
hello, 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 hello.
Okay. That was the issue, maybe. Let's try. Okay, okay. Let's just hope कि गेम में वर्क कर जाए. अगर ये वर्क कर जाए तो क्लिप पहले ब्रो को भेजना है. Mm. Or maybe I can ask Lucky Marky to record a zombie sound for me क्योंकि उसके पास अच्छा वाला माइक है तो. Please work. Scene. Loading scene. M targets game object does not. Huh. I'm not giving friendly fire damage. Why is that? Since I don't know much about Photon, I have to ask ChatGPT or maybe Copilot. Bullet projectile, player sync, and player controller when playing online. Reading bullet line, okay, editing ye. Reading line that searched for take damage method. Bullet projectile and player sync files. The issue that was the friendly fire damage was only being applied while PV is mine was true. But since the bullet script runs on shooter's client and PV refers to. Uh-huh. Okay, so PV. What is PV? फोटॉन व्यू फोटॉन व्यू अगर नल नहीं है तो rpc pv.rpc something that a photon view is required for. Okay, rpc underscore take damage. Nope, not here. Then player controller. Let's test it out then, if AI is right or not. Was always false. This prevented damage from being dealt in online multiplayer. I fixed it. Bullet projectile changed hit logic and send RPC to victim. Okay. Uh, Checking PV dot is mine now calls. Yeah. To apply damage across client. PV sync. Player sync added. Player sync added a call to take damage. Controller dot identify sound. Okay, this is gonna be an issue क्योंकि मुझे नहीं चाहिए कि अगर zombie से वो डैमेज ले रहा है तो वो ये वाला प्ले करे. हाँ, तो जो टेक डैमेज फंक्शन है वो प्लेयर कंट्रोलर में भी कॉल हो रहा है, यहाँ पे इधर भी हो रहा है. Okay, you know what, let's just play anyway. Medieval a create.
हेलो हेलो
Hold up, I need to record this.
हेलो हेलो हेलो
Are you kidding me? Protected app. विंडो जी से कर लेते हैं. Start recording. Do I have to log into my Xbox social and stuff? I don't want to do that right now. Okay, recording.
हेलो हेलो हेलो
Okay. No, I have to do it right now. Okay. Just real quick. Captures. Yeah, do whatever, man. What the fuck? अरे ये क्या बकवास है? वेट, स्ट्रीम पे आ रही है क्या बस? Hold up, let me check. स्ट्रीम्स इज फाइन, स्ट्रीमिंग में तो आवाज़ आ रही है प्रॉपर. दैट्स वियर्ड. आई शुड probably study more about photon and stuff, अगर मुझे अपने रिज्यूमे में लिखना है. Create medieval join. यहाँ तो करने देगा. Okay, okay. So I have to close my stream, only then I can. God damn it. ठीक है. Okay. I guess I'll do that off stream now. तो ये हमारा environment है, मेरा terrain है. इसमें nav mesh baked नहीं है, इसलिए वो लोग चल ही नहीं पा रहे zombies. Okay, so let's do that. कर दो disable. And और क्या था? No, nothing. Uh, terrain. Bake. How about I want to test something. कि मैं गया लोडिंग सीन में, आई प्ले द गेम, देन उसके बाद यहाँ आके मैंने ज़ॉम्बी कोऑप स्टार्ट किया. सो यहाँ पे ज़ॉम्बीज आ रहे हैं मेरी तरफ, एंड इस गेम में आर दे मूविंग. यहाँ पे ज़ॉम्बीज मेरी तरफ आ रहे हैं, बट इस गेम में वो लोग मूव नहीं कर रहे. son of a bitch. I'm not very happy with the sound here. Probably मुझे इसको चेंज करना चाहिए. मे बी किसी दिन लक्की के घर जाके उसके अच्छे वाले माइक्रोफोन में खुद ही ज़ॉम्बी की आवाज़ रिकॉर्ड करनी पड़ेगी.
हेलो.
ओके ओके ओके. सो एक वर्किंग गेम के तौर पे तो ये बन चुका है मेरा गेम. आई शेयर टू ऐड सम मोर स्टफ. यूआई सोचना पड़ेगा कैसा डिज़ाइन होगा उसका. आई वुड रियली अप्रिशिएट अगर कोई मुझे डिज़ाइन करके दे दे, बिकॉज यू नो खुद से डिज़ाइन करना, डिज़ाइनिंग का काम थोड़ा सा मेरे लिए चैलेंजिंग हो जाता है. देन सेकेंडली मुझे फिर अब एक एंड गेम भी सोचना पड़ेगा, लाइक you can decide how many waves there will be of enemy and how many zombies to spawn. उसके बारे में भी सोचा है. Probably I should try to make a build and then do a QA testing on something. No, I don't know. A lot of things to think about. So, guys, this is that's all for this dev stream. मेरा आज का टास्क था collision culling ऐड करना, which was done pretty easily. So I will see you guys in the next stream. Probably तब तक मैं थोड़ा फिगर आउट कर लूँगा कि ये गेम किस डायरेक्शन में जाएगा. बाय. एंड गेम स्ट्रीम रात को प्रॉब्ली जब मेरा मन करेगा तब होगी.